Right now on No More Download.
Gay community, stop hijacking the civil rights movement.
The NAACP. It's the nation's oldest civil rights organization. But as LGBT leaders march into key positions of power, is the old guard ready to accept change?
How can the gay and lesbian community take the NAACP serious when you hear this hate speech?
I'm tired, quite frankly, of...
I'm Kendall Hogan. Is the gay community on the verge of taking over the civil rights movement?
Look, brother, listen.
And she raked in $1.11 million in her first week of sales. But did you know there was another gay anthem with the same title?
And I'm Janora McDuffie. Carl Bean breaks his silence on his original Motown classic hit, I Was Born This Way.
I just would have never thought that in a million years.
Anything that comes up, I'm like, I got you.
Then, we'll take you to the Hollywood auto shop where this woman calls the shots and everyone gets the star treatment. And hear the remarkable story of how this straight ex-offender turned his life around and made this award-winning gay film. It's all coming up next on No More Download.
Hi, I'm Regina King, and you're watching No More Download.
We're in Long Beach, California, where the gay community has recently been hit with violence. Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us. I'm Kendall Hogan.
And I'm Janora McDuffie. Sadly, within the last 10 days alone, there's been a string of anti-gay attacks across the country. Right here in Long Beach, in Washington, D.C., there were 5 lesbian women who were attacked, and a transgender woman was found murdered in Harlem.
Today, we will speak with law enforcement experts and community activists about how you can stay vigilant, protect yourself and others, and just stay safe.
That's right, Kendall. But first, we're going to head to downtown Los Angeles, where Mark Noble is standing by with a recap of the historical NAACP LGBT town hall meeting. Mark?
Well, Janora and Kendall, you may want to call it a meeting of the minds over civil rights. Picture it, the NAACP National Convention here in Los Angeles, and the town hall moderated by CNN anchor Don Lemon, who himself revealed recently that he is gay. Well, the tone of that town hall got a little heated when the issue of civil rights and the LGBTQ community came up.
How can the African American gay and lesbian community take the NAACP's position with civil rights with gays and lesbians serious when you have people like current board member, Reverend Keith Radcliffe, saying,
Gay community, stop hijacking the civil rights movement.
The gay community should take us seriously as civil rights advocates who are committed to fairness for everyone. Should take us seriously because we are one of the architects, along with the Human Rights Campaign, of the Matthew Shepard, James Byrd hate crimes bill. Should take us seriously because here in California, we were the champions in the black community for Prop 8, as we were in Maine, as we were in Massachusetts, as we were in DC, and so on, Maryland, and so on and so forth.
I understand what you're saying, and yes, the NAACP should be commended for all of those things.
But you didn't mention one of them.
That was the start of dialogue, which became combative when No More Download's producer Ernest Winborn challenged NAACP CEO Ben Jealous about homophobia within the organization.
From the outside, from our position, when we look at the NAACP and we see members who represent the NAACP and we hear this hate speech, how are we supposed to take the organization serious?
He didn't say it in the name of the NAACP.
It is odd to me, to put it frankly kindly, why any person of color in this country would be against other groups who are also trying to seek those same rights.
That's the take from Ravi Perry, who at 29 is quickly becoming a part of the new face of NAACP leadership, serving as president of the Worcester, Massachusetts branch of the NAACP. Ravi is also among the growing openly gay leaders within the organization.
There's also a host of young professional under the age of 40 branch presidents of some major cities as well. I think there's a perception nationwide that NAACP is an organization that caters to the older, the more conservative Christian black audience. And what we're finding that is in fact still the case in many areas, but that it's also branching out in many communities. And so yes, there are many not many, there have been other openly LGBT local branch presidents. Up to my knowledge, all of them have been Caucasian.
Which is why he has become part of the Guard to bridge an old thinking mentality with a new generation.
I view it as an opportunity to see young people and older people who presumably agree in working on behalf as a volunteer, a non-paid volunteer for the equality of rights of all people.
CNN anchor Don Lemon moderated as Wanda Sykes and Julian Bond led the panel of gay and lesbian advocates and allies through a 2-hour groundbreaking discussion.
I was raised in the church, and you know, I had uncles and who were ministers, and we were taught that being gay or was just wrong. It was a sin.
And you know, it was interesting the conversation a few minutes ago about these prominent ministers who are major homophobes who are themselves gay.
Despite the differing of opinions, one thing was clear: the discussion was healthy and long overdue.
Appreciate the challenging questions. And again, I encourage all of you to encourage more people. This room should be filled.
This is a good audience, and as you can tell from what you saw, they're lively, had a lot of questions, a lot of complaints, and we tried as best we could to meet them.
The important thing, I think, was that it happened at all.
I think this is the opening segue for us to have dialogue within the NAACP.
But I look forward to the opportunity for us to do it again and expand on the topic.
You can see from the discussion why that issue in the African American community needs to be discussed.
Now, clearly the point here is that there is that open discussion, because that just might lead to the understanding and respect, paving the way for LGBTQ equality, particularly in the communities of color. Reporting in downtown Los Angeles for No More Down Low, Mark Noble. Chinora, back to you.
Thanks, Mark. Great coverage on that town hall meeting.